The most important thing to note about this phone is that it does have a glow light, and that is what held back a lot of manufacturers that had cases with panels in them, the Siswu Dark Moon R9, and a lot of other manufacturers that tried to do E Ink, and this one does have a glow light. If you swipe down from the top, it does have a glow light that you can turn on or off. You can see that it is off. So a lot of people were whining about how big the bezels are. Now, note that this is not an LCD LED smartphone in the sense where you can have bezel-less display all the way to the edge. This requires you to have lines of LEDs shooting light onto the screen rather than projecting light from behind it, aka backlit. This is not a backlit phone like smartphones. This is a front lit phone. It does have auto as well, so it will adjust itself automatically based on the light sensor, and that's why the screen protector is cut out the way it is, because there's a light sensor there. There's no front camera. There is a camera. We'll show you that afterwards. We'll show you it actually working. This is not real leather. It's not even fake leather. It's pure plastic with fake stitching. Now, we're not going to teach you anything about Android because Android is Android, and you can look at some of our other videos or Google or YouTube the basics of Android. But if you swipe the top down, there's Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, flashlight. Flashlight does work actually extremely well. Mobile data, battery saver, and settings. Settings is just basically Android. There's nothing special about the settings whatsoever. There's nothing new. There's nothing proprietary. There's nothing that is effectively or particularly Kingrow on the settings. It's strictly just an Android settings. All the proprietary stuff happens here. This is your little panels, they're called. You can switch them by swiping them. They're basically like full page widgets, and the panels setup doesn't make a whole lot of sense because they all don't have their little circles in the corner like the Kindle does. The Kindle one you can turn off or on, and it will erase itself respectively. Also, applications is basically there because you need it to be there because it is the most important place you're going to go to. Although it is not the home screen is actually your little clock here. And here is where you will find your browser, camera, settings, Amazon, etc. There is no Google Play on here. Even if you click the more, there is no Google Play. FM radio doesn't work unless you have headphones plugged into it, much like most smartphones and so forth. Now, something very important to note about this, if you're unsure what E Ink is very slow. It is very slow to refresh, and usually there is some sort of a boost mode, an A2 mode, a speed mode, an X mode, something. There is no A2 mode on this device, so you are pretty much limited to exactly the speed it is set at. And I will tell you, it's not very fast. It is pretty fast for not having an A2 mode specifically. It does move around all right. You can go to settings and go home and press app settings and scroll through, and it does have inertia on it. And you can go to panel setup, and you can see it does refresh a lot to cut down on staining and stuff like that, but it isn't super snappy, and it is no X mode. And honestly, I think the Siswu Dark Moon had a little bit better speed than this, but this one does look far better than the Siswu did. The Siswu was actually almost in a constant A2 mode, so you're dealing with both ends of the spectrum here. Now, if we do go to the Amazon app, you can see it does work very well. You can go and just basically start reading once everything is signed into and whatnot. So we'll just open the Christmas Carol, and we'll open it from the very get-go so you can see exactly how fast or not fast this is. So this is what reading will look like on the Kingrow. Now, you're not going to buy this to read, obviously, because you can see how small it is compared to your hand, and you're not going to buy this and say, yes, I can finally read my books. No, you'll just go buy an e-reader. The point of this is to have amazing battery life. But we're just going to see what we can do here. I keep forgetting Amazon changed some stuff like that. So does this affect the light? Yes, it does, and I never actually tried that yet. Text size, it does change live, although the big the text augmentation screen takes up most of the screen, so you can't really tell. You do have white, and it looks like black for inverted, so that's quite nice. Although the black is kind of gray, but it is easier on the eyes, so that's kind of cool. You do have a couple other ones. We're not going to click on them, sepia and green, because basically they're just different shades of gray / white / black, because this doesn't have color. Here's a long press. You see it's not too bad. We'll take a note. We'll show off the keyboard. Type note here. Here we go. Peter is here. Yes, it does have a haptic feedback in terms of the vibrator spinning around. It does have stereo speakers as well, so you are going to get clicks and beeps and bloops and whatnot. It acts itself as a normal phone. Collectively, it's just the screen in which it displays things is not standard LCD LED. How do normal phone functions work on this device? So just say you're going to go make a phone call. We'll show you how it looks if you're going to make a phone call. Beep, beep, boop. It works just fine. All the beeps work. The vibrator works. Everything is totally fine. If you go back, you can go to send text message. Send text message. Start a text message. And this is all stuff we're going to show. We're not going to show PDFs and stuff like that, obviously, because you're buying this for a phone. You're not buying this for really any other reason. If you click on email, goes to your email account setup. You can set up your Gmail, your Hotmail, whatever you want on there. If you go to the next panel, you have home store, stuff pertaining to the Kindle. You have some music. It does play music, and basically your photo gallery and whatnot. Just see, we have a test thing right there, and we're going to show you the camera coming up in a little bit, but first we're going to go to the browser and see how that works, because that's what you do with phones. You go on the internet and stuff like that. Here we are on Goody Reader's mobile version. You see it's very refined, it's very nice. It doesn't have any sort of A2 mode if you're just joining us on this device, so you can't really turn it into a quicker device than it is by default. You are stuck with what this is. But all the functionalities of using the phone on the internet is totally fine. Long presses, copies, pastes, select all, look up in whatever. And this does have the ability to sideload apps as well, so you're not going to be locked into not having Google Play, not having any app store whatsoever, because Kingrow doesn't supply you with one. You can download Google Play, you can download the Goody Reader app store, etc. But this is what scrolling on the Kingrow is going to be looking like when you have this in your hand. This is about the max speed it's going to be. So this is what video is going to look like. I put my hand in the screen to show, just so you could question whether it was your camera, your computer lagging, or the device itself. But it does play video. Anything that's very fast, it won't play very well. So you are going to have to be very patient with it. And it's a lot of dropped frames. It's a lot of lag. It's not overall the best video experience, although if you really had to, it can. And it does have stereo speakers, so that's kind of a plus it's working with, but the video itself isn't that great. On to what we've all been waiting for on smartphones, the camera. We all use cameras on our smartphones in one capacity or another. How does it work on the Kingrow? Well, not very well. You can see it is extremely laggy. Extremely laggy. Zooming in, zooming out, you can see the fluidity of the video in my hands itself, but on the screen it's not good. However, there is a very nice silver lining to this. If you take a picture, not only is the picture, well, decent quality, when you put it onto your computer or email someone or whatever and watch it through or look at it through an LCD LED color device like your computer monitor or a smartphone, it is in color. Same with the video. If you take a video like so, hello, I'm taking a video, blah blah blah, this is what it looks like. You save it, and you actually view it, not through this phone of course, but if you view it through another source, this will all be in color and the quality is actually not that bad. So in that regard, it's not terrible, but it's kind of funny how they give you these. I always got a kick of that: sepia, aqua, fresh, and you know, most of these look exactly the same due to the lack of colors. But remember, they've basically just ported over Android onto this phone and displaying everything through an E Ink panel. So that's kind of the reality of the situation, is that, well, everything's in black and white, but the camera does work, if you want to call it that. A positive and negative note about the glow light. The glow light is good. It's a perfect, absolutely flawless distribution, corner to corner, edge to edge. Doesn't project too far, but the perfect amount for you to read and look at the device and use it any time of the day, day or night, which a lot of manufacturers are lacking, which I've already explained to you guys. However, the downside is it only has the white grayish LED color. You don't have any other warm lighting or even cool lighting of any kind. It's just that. And you can change the intensity, and that's all very nice, and you can turn it off in the day and keep it low in the night and stuff like that. However, you can't change it. So if you don't like the color of this particular glow light, that is what you are dealt with. And remember, black and white e-ink readers, when you're on websites and stuff, there are no vibrant colors of any kind. So doesn't matter where you go in the phone, this is the color you are going to see every single day of using it. In the world of smartphones, the Kingrow K1 is terrible, but in the world of e-ink smartphones, the Kingrow K1 is king. That's right in the name. There is no other smartphone that does what the Kingrow does. For all intents and purposes, this phone is 100% a usable and up-to-date smartphone. The only thing is that the display panel, what you are looking at when you look at things, when you tap the screen, the display panel isn't your conventional LCD LED. Instead, it is e-ink. So in that regard, you have to take that seriously. If it is something you really want, if e-ink is the way you want to go, I hope this exhibition shows you exactly what it is capable of and is not capable of. And the battery life is absolutely amazing. So if that is something that is of concern to you, the Kingrow is one of the best on the markets. However, if you are missing that snappiness, that speed, the ability to play games and watch videos smoothly, then please stay away from this phone, because you are going to have nothing but problems. For one of the best, if not the best, e-ink smartphone on the market, and for a good e-reader, this is the Kingrow K1. Everyone, have a great day.